Hey man, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. Don't you just hate it when conversations just end like that and a long awkward pause ensues? Yeah, personally, I'm not a fan of that. Hi everyone, my name is Coach Mahathir and welcome to How to Carry a Conversation so that you no longer have to face the biggest fear of all, awkward pauses. Now, if you're new to this channel, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video out so many people will be able to be better communicators. Now, let's jump straight into it. Today, I have 4 big tips to share with you on how you can start carrying the conversation like a pro. Tip number 1, and that is what I call as the 60-40 rule. Now, what does 60-40 rule means? It means that 60% of the time you should be trying to inquire about the other person, and 40% of the time is where you speak. Now, the reason why I say inquire more or ask more questions than answering is because that is a surefire way to get the conversation going. Nobody likes someone who just speaks whatever they want to speak and just goes on and on and on and on and on, and the other person doesn't feel like that person is heard. So when you throw more questions, you make that person feel special. But again, I put 60% on asking, not 80, 90 or 100% asking. Why? It would end up like you're interrogating someone in an FBI room, right? Hey, how's it going? Nice. Where did you get that shirt? Where did you get that shoes? How much did it cost? So there's too many questions that sounds like you are trying to fish out information from them, and it gets very scary for the person who's receiving it. So 60% of the time, ask some questions, 40% of the time, share and give your thoughts on something. The second tip is to reply how you feel based on the statement that the person has shared. So let's just say you're talking about the football game. You can say, hey, who's your favorite football team? And the person says, well, my football favorite team is Manchester United. Then here are moments where you can actually share how you feel about it. For example, it can be, oh, Manchester United, yeah, I heard they're a really good team. Personally, I feel that Arsenal has a better winning chance though. So you can always add in how you feel at this moment. It's totally okay to have different viewpoints from that person. Don't be obliged to say yes to whatever they say, because sometimes being your own self and having your own thoughts can really spice up and make the conversations more lively. In this point of time as well, remember that 40% you could share your own stories, because a conversation is also a mixture of give and take. And sometimes people would love to hear your story as well. Now, tip number 3 is non-verbal communication, your body language. Why I say that this is important when it comes to carrying a conversation is because how your body language is like will determine to the person listening that whether you're interested or you're not interested. What are some cues? Simple things as leaning in does make a big difference. It shows that you're interested. Open postures means you're welcoming them to share. So avoid things like closed postures, hands in your pockets, folding here, clasping your hands. Avoid that. And one special technique that some researchers has found is if you try to mirror their actions, they will be more likely to follow you and connect with you better, because they see that, hey, this person kind of gets into my wavelength. But of course, don't copy them blatantly and obviously, because it gets really weird and really awkward if someone were to do this and then you start doing this, and then someone will do this and then you start doing this. It looks very weird and they can tell it. But subtly change your actions to suit what they're doing. If they're leaning forward, perhaps you could slowly try to lean forward to engage in the conversation as well. Now, tip number 4 is called steering the conversation to your interests. Now, there is nothing wrong to steer conversations to your interest, but don't do it too often. Because let's be honest, in a conversation, it's not always important for that person to share everything that they want to share and you just, don't talk about something that interests you as well. So sometimes when the conversation has happened, there are some openings or moments where you can swiftly move into your topic of interest. For example, if let's just say we're talking about football again, right? Hey, my favorite football team is Manchester United. They are really awesome. And then you can jump in and say, yeah, I totally agree with you. Manchester really rocks. But you know what? That reminds me, during the stadium when they were playing in there, I really love the popcorn popcorns that they serve. Have you tried the popcorn? So the topic that I'm trying to swiftly move into is popcorn. Maybe I love popcorn and I'm a popcorn enthusiast, right? You can always switch the conversation to steer into some of your interests, but of course, not too often, or they can also sense that this guy doesn't care about what I'm talking about. This guy only wants to talk about what he's talking about. Alright, so that is the 4 tips when it comes to carrying a conversation. And I really hope that this video helps you to become a better communicator. And if it did, why not drop a like, a subscribe, and to share this video around so that more people can be better communicators just like you, champ. So take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!